What's up, guys? My name is SnyperSama, but you can call me Sniper. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I got another quick question. Does the idea of having maxed out attack boost, maxed out crit boost, a maxed out weakness exploit, maxed out agitator sound nice? I know it did to me, because holy, I was absolutely floored when I was going through all of my stuff and I rolled this on my hammer and I was trying to cook something absolutely phenomenal for this build. And man, oh man, did we do so. Okay, today we are rocking Bound Admonition. This is my Gogma Ardian Sleep Hammer, and this was one of my first god rolls. This is rolled with Lord Soul and Gormagala's Tyranny. Before I go any further, I'm going to preface this with, this is an RNG build. You are still able to get and do insane amounts of damage with this build, but to min-max it in the way that I have, you're going to need a couple of things. One, on your weapon, you are going to need Gormagala's Tyranny and Guts. Two, you are going to need to have Guardian Fulgur Helm Beta and Guardian Fulgur Coil Beta, both transcended. Number three, you are going to need an attack boost 3 charm with one attack jewel, one weapon jewel, and 2 level 1 armor decoration slots. Okay, you can get by without the additional 2 level 1s. It just allows you to slot in comfier skills. So if you can check all 3 of those boxes, okay, you are able to rock this build. I understand not everybody is going to have the same thing, which is why I'm going to say, if you want to min-max the perfect build, this is it. However, this is at least something that you guys can aim for if you are not quite there yet. I know people don't have the time, I know there's people that don't have the investment, and I know there's people that are still struggling with some of these hunts. Shout out my Discord, where I'm willing to help you guys. Me and my buddies, we're playing all the time. I don't mind. You just got to join the Discord and let me know you want some help. That being said, it's in my YouTube description. But I digress. Today we are rocking a Sleep Hammer. The thing about the Sleep Hammer and paralysis weapons and all of that, they're kind of phasing out, truth be told. The resistances of these monsters are getting so astronomically high that I am hardly getting more than 2 paraprocs per hunt. I'm probably getting about 1 sleep unless I use something dedicated towards sleep, like sleep toads or anything like that that are out and about. You could choose to do this with any element. You could choose to do this with Blast, for example, because Blast is always just going to give you more damage. It's kind of up to you. It happens to be that Sleep, this was the Sleep Hammer that I had, and it rolled well, so it's what I ended up rolling with. Okay? So, checkbox 1. You need Gormagala's Tyranny and Lord Soul. Checkbox 2, you just need 3 attack boost. Ideally, at least for me, the easiest roll to get that is still beneficial without really like crunching down percentage minuscule numbers is affinity boost, sharpness boost, and the 3 attack boosts. Ideally, you would want 4 attack boosts and 1 sharpness, but the difference is so marginal. I think, if I remember my math correctly, it's literally a 2.7% difference between affinity and attack boost with all of these skills combined. It's not enough for it to matter, which means do not worry about min-maxing that. If you have a roll with affinity, sharpness, and 3 attack, the only thing you need to look out for is 3 EX rolls. I've said it before, I'll say it again. EX rolls, whether it's attack, affinity, sharpness, element, whatever, you can only have 2 of at a time. Meaning, with these 3 attack rolls, only 2 of them can be EXs, and 1 of them can be a level 3. Meaning, perfect roll would be affinity EX, sharpness EX, 2 attack EXs, and 1 attack 3. If you end up having something similar to mine, that is a-okay because it's good enough, and now you're quote-unquote pinching pennies. You do not need to min-max all of that. I understand that the majority of my viewer base are not speedrunners. You guys are looking for good builds, and that is what I am here to provide. Your boy is trying to do the speedrun thing. I'm learning, I'm practicing, okay? And because of that, I'll end up showcasing some of it on this channel here soon, because the future of Monster Hunter, at least right now, there's not a crazy amount of updates left in the base game, and we still haven't heard anything on G rank or Master rank. So we'll see what happens, okay? Next up, our armor. Armor needs to be transcended. The reason it needs to be transcended is because the Fulgur set is rarity 6. When it is rarity 6 with the Transcendent system, it is going to give you additional decoration slots. For this build to be as perfect as it is, you need those additional decoration slots, okay? So, the helmet and the waist both need to be Transcended. Thankfully, it's just a Fulgur Anjanath. It's not too bad, especially because all you need is the gem. It's not super hard. And it actually means that you can fight some of the lower ranked ones and sit there and do the camp reset with your green points to try and get more, okay? RNG number 3, and at least in my opinion, the hardest one, is a Golden Age charm. This is unfortunately still kind of the bread and butter of farming for min-maxing, is these talismans. These talismans can literally make or break entire builds. At least in the case of this, I would say what you need to worry about is attack boost 3 and 1 attack charm. You do not need it to be a Golden Age charm, though, for it to be good enough. I would recommend, at least for me, if you want to min-max your damage to the absolute craziest degree, you need the Golden Age variant. However, you can get away with just having attack boost 3. Ideally, you want attack boost 3 with 2 level 1 armor slots. Perfectly, you want it like mine. Attack boost 3, 1 weapon deco, 2 armor decos. And the reason for it is because attack boost, once it hits level 4, gives you a 2% attack increase and an additional +8. So if you can at least get to level 4, you get the 2% bonus. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you have, we'll say, 300 raw attack, that 2% actually matters, okay? It's a lot more than if, say, you've got like 20 raw attack, okay? So getting it to level 5 is super valuable if you can do so. If you cannot, that is a-okay. All I recommend is attack boost 3, okay? Now, we've gone over all the RNG stuff. Let's hit the stuff that everybody can actually do. Not only do you need the Transcendence, but you just need to be able to beat some of the Arch-Tempered monsters. Gormagala, this is the base gear. Really easy. Not super hard, especially because you can fight the lower rank ones. You don't even need to fight Tempered to craft it. This is where it gets a little harder. These are Arch-Tempered pieces. The Arch-Tempered pieces are a need because they give you Guts. Guts is going to give you an additional +5% on top of your raw damage, which is just going to make you hit harder, okay? Now that we've hit all of that, let's go ahead and hit the decos. The decos are actually really straightforward because the majority of them are level 3 decoration slots. We actually just slot in Tenderizer on all of them. Tenderizer is great. It's really nice. Thanks to the armor that we're rocking, we actually already have 4 levels of Agitator. Challenger gives us our 5th and final level, which is great. And this is where the Mighty Jewels come in. Maximum Might is really good, and because we're using Guardian Fulgur Anjanath, we want to make sure that we have full use of it. We get the additional stamina gauge, meaning Maximum Might is going to give us more affinity. More affinity means more damage, which is why we get to take advantage of Critical Jewel. Here's the thing. We don't have 3 levels of Maximum Might. The reason for it is because we would lose 1 level of Weakness Exploit or 1 level of Agitator. We don't need that. When you break down the math for this entire build, you have a lot more affinity than you think, and you don't need to have Maximum Might at level 3 to get full value, okay? The reason you use Gormagala Greaves is it comes with antivirus naturally. With the 2 level 1 slots, this entire piece can have all of the antivirus you need to make sure that you don't deal with the Gormagala issues of getting debuffed, okay? So, now that we've cleared all of that, the decoration would be as follows. If you have something similar to mine, attack and 2 protection jewels. If you don't have something similar to mine, ideally just go for the attack boost 3 with protection jewels. And the reason for it is Divine Blessing is just going to make it to where when you get hit, it's not as bad. Back to the affinity talk. What I can showcase to you guys right now is with Weakness Exploit, we're at 30%, okay? Include the 20% we get from Maximum Might because it's only level 2. We're at 50% affinity, okay? When the monster becomes enraged, we get an additional 15%, giving us 65% affinity. When Antivirus is active, you get the 15% from Frenzy itself, plus an additional 10%. 65 plus the 25%, you're sitting at 90% affinity. If you had Maximum Might, you would be at 100% affinity, absolutely. However, if we were to remove 1 level of Weakness Exploit, we would still have a 10% decrease. Okay, if we were to lower our Agitator, you could make an argument that the Challenger gets replaced with a maximum might. However, you get an additional +4 raw, and you still get the 5% affinity, which means you're still not even hitting 100%. Now you're only at 95%, and you have less raw attack. Okay, the reason for it is because you want to be hitting as many crits as possible. Hammer is one of those slower weapons. Because it's so slow, you want to make sure that every time you hit, you don't hit for a little winky dink strike. Okay, everything together does a crap ton of damage. Not to mention, you get Guts, you get Gormagala's Black Eclipse, and you have the second wind from Fulgur and Janath gear. If everything is together as it should be, let's go ahead and turn on Agitator, Antivirus Gormagala. You can see that we have 35% affinity natural, not showcasing the 30% from weakness exploit. So we're at 65% affinity on a weak spot. What we can do here is we're going to go ahead and get our Gormagala's Tyranny. That way we can showcase what everything looks like once we have Frenzy cleared. There we go. You can see we're at 60% affinity, not including the hidden 30% that comes from weakness exploit. Not to mention, weakness exploit also gives an additional 20% when it's on a wound, which means as long as you're hitting a wound, and if you're playing Hammer specifically, you are always going to be going for the head. Meaning, the wounds that stack up on the head, you should always be overcapped. Not on including all of that though, you have 300 raw attack with my roll. My roll has the affinity and it doesn't have 4 levels of attack. Everything altogether does a whopping crazy amount of damage. You can see here, even with the wound break right there, we'll do the Big Bang finisher. We hit for 2,000 damage. If we were to do the Spitting Bludgeon, we hit another 500, and that's just from proccing it immediately. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and I'll showcase a quick charge up, and we'll do the Mighty Charge, because I don't know about you guys, but I love doing the Mighty Charge Slam. It is one of my favorite moves. That and the Black Hole looks really great. We hit for 1,000 damage very, very easily right there. If it ends up being a wake-up hit as well, you're even better off. So let's go ahead. We got the stun on the dummy. Let's see if we can put it to sleep real quick. There we go. So we'll go ahead and charge up. Go ahead into the Mighty Charge. I missed. Let's not talk about that. If you flame me in the YouTube comments, I understand. Kind of rude though. 1,800 damage from a wake up. Okay, this build is crazy, and it's also really, really satisfying seeing all of these maxed out skills. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you all for coming to watch it. Thank you all for hanging out. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. If you guys are as interested in Monster Hunter as well as other games as much as I am, don't forget that I stream most nights over on Twitch at twitch.tv/SnyperSama. I'll see all of you in the next one. Farewell.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.